Hello and welcome to the channel everyone. In our school days we learn to read, but no one ever teaches us how to read intentionally or how to read faster. All of us love reading books. They're filled with knowledge, packed with knowledge, and a lot of information of know-how. They increase the value of our life. So the idea of speed reading is a fantastic and unique idea. It helps in drastically increasing your knowledge base. So the idea of speed reading basically is to read anything faster, but at the same time maintaining your comprehension and understanding of what you are reading. Or you can say the crux of the book in a few minutes. Learning to analyze a book intelligently and synthesizing ideas from multiple books. So if you are into reading a lot of books, or you are a student, or you are a lifelong learner, it makes a lot of sense to understand the philosophy of reading and reading fast. So one of the important ways of reading fast is via our eye movements. It is important to understand that the majority of the impulses of reading are visual. That is why we read through our eyes. But to speed read, we have to first understand some basic important concepts about what and how we are reading. Reading basically, you can say, is of two types. One is the active reading and the other one is passive reading. Active reading is something that you do for comprehension, for understanding the concepts, for understanding the ideas. It requires an active effort and some time for the brain to comprehend and make sense of ideas that you are reading. The second one is passive reading. Passive reading is basically reading for entertainment, or reading stuff where you are trying to skim through a lot of information. So one can very well say is that speed reading is inversely proportional to comprehension. The more your speeds keep on increasing, the more your comprehension will go down, because your brain requires some pause or a time to comprehend certain things. Normally an individual reads at a speed of 200 to 400 words per minute, but experts say that with speed reading practices you can reach up to 1000 to 1200 words per minute. But that's a lot of words, guys. Reading with such high speeds obviously compromises your comprehension. But how? It is just the basic understanding of your working memory. It is the working memory that we use when we are actively reading something. Research has shown that our working memory can only handle up to 4 chunks of information at a given point of time. A chunk of information is basically a bundle of information that is loosely connected through an idea or a meaning. So the chunks of memory for difficult things and unfamiliar things will be smaller, and the chunks for familiar aspects or familiar things will be bigger and bigger. So the brain can handle only a small amount of chunks at a given point of time. That is why pauses in between speed reading, they increase your comprehension. Now coming back to the way in which you visualize the page and read a book. So there are 3 types of eye movements that we use when we are trying to read anything. Whenever we are trying to read anything, it is not in the form of a flow, but basically our eyes move in a kind of a jerky movements that are called as saccades. So we have saccades, and from saccades we fix onto a point. So the second type is fixation. In fixation, you fix on a word. Then you move forward, take a pause, and this pause is called as the comprehension pause. So the reading basically goes in 3-way process, that is saccades, fixation, and then the final aspect, that is a pause for comprehension, or what is called as cognitive processing pause. So speed reading is actually about going through more content on the page with the help of our eye movements, that is skipping the words that we call as functional words. So whenever we are into reading something on a page, we have 2 kinds of words. One are those that we call as the content words. These are the words that comprise of main ideas. They convey to you the main message of whatever you are reading. And then you have the functional words. Functional words are nothing but words that bring about grammatical connections between your content words. So whenever we want to read anything fast, we can train our eye movements in such a way that we focus onto the content words and skipping the functional words. Our brain is automatically inherently fitted with language and grammar, so grammatical connections will be automatically done by the brain. This happens many times, guys. Whenever we are trying to read a book, generally the way in which the books are written, what you have is you have a main idea that the author wants to convey in a chapter or in a section or maybe in a book. You understand that main idea by just going through a few pages or a chapter. Then later on, whatever is there is just examples and repetitions so that the idea gets fitted into your head. So by the help of speed reading, what we can do actually is, once we have understood and gone through that concept nicely, we can just skim or speed read through the examples that we have, so that here and there, if you have one nice information that you can get from the book, you are not missing on that. The second important tip for the speed reading is reducing what is called as subvocalization. So what is subvocalization, guys? Subvocalization is basically the sounds that we hear in our own head of whatever we are reading. So it's like speech inside your head when you are reading something. So whenever you read and that subvocalization goes on, it decreases the speed of your reading. So if you actively learn to switch off that voice that is going on in your head when you are reading something, this can increase and enhance your reading speed. So finally, to some of the ideas of speed reading, guys, it has a lot to do with practice and what you are reading and for what you are reading. Understand, if you're reading for comprehension, you will require time to spend with your content. But if you're reading for entertainment or you want to just skim through books, then the speed reading comes into play. The more you practice, the more you will be mastering this skill. These were some of the tips that I shared with you as far as this speed reading goes. So hope this will help you in your academic ventures, in your exams, and going through your college material as fast as you could and with great comprehension. Hope that this video has helped you and hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much.